Okay, welcome everybody to another CTC Sim webinar. Today we're going to focus again on the management suite, Sim Manager Suite, and today we're going to talk about specifically Template Tracker and some of the things that it will do to make your life easier. So Template Tracker, as you can see there, it's on the Sim Manager Suite ribbon, and it's one of our manager suite of tools. It's intended for CAD managers or Civil 3D users supporting a production team, and it will work in the last 4 versions of Civil 3D, now back to version 2020. We just released our version of 24.0. So with that, we no longer support Civil 3D 2019. So if you don't have, if you own the Sim products and you don't have the 24.0 yet, I'm encouraging you to go out and get it and download it. We've made some significant improvements to many of the tools. Okay, so why Template Tracker? We can use it to track layer and style references. We can do quick style swapping and deleting. We can manage styles used in layers, dimensions, multi-leaders, plot styles, line types, and we can easily purge unwanted layers too. We can see where they're used, when they're used, how they're used, whatever. So why? We can find where text styles, dimension styles, as I mentioned, multi-leader styles, where they're being used. We can swap out any of those styles. And then we can delete any of those unused or unwanted styles. And we'll show you that here in a minute. We can find also where line types are being used. This is a new feature in the 24.0 version, and we can swap out those line types all within a single user face. And we can delete any line types that we don't want in our drawing from there as well. And we can also find what plot styles are being used and where, what layers they're used in. And that also is a new feature for 24.0. And it works for both STVs and CTVs. So whatever you have in your drawing will be reflected in the template tracker, and we can change things out accordingly. So we can swap those plot styles within our table. So with that, let's jump into Civil 3D and take a look at this. Okay, so here we have a survey site, an existing survey site that was shot in the field, brought in, and maybe we got this from somebody else and we need to work on it and things just don't quite match what our standards are. So we kind of want to get those up to our standards, make sure things are how and where they should be. So when we make our design drawings off of this, it will reflect our particular styles. So how can we edit these natively? Yeah, there are a number of ways. Civil 3D, AutoCAD, they give you many ways to do things. We can do things here, mass purge, mass import, we can do that. We can come out here, we can hunt down our styles, we can hunt down layers where things are being used, what's displayed on those layers. But again, one at a time, kind of clumsy and difficult. And if you're like me, you've found some styles or something in there that you can't get rid of. You can't purge them. You look on your layers, you don't know where it is. But we make that easier to find where they're used, and then you can make your decisions from there. So template tracker, let's take a look at this. So as I said, we can find a number of objects, text styles, dimension styles, multi-leaders, line types, and plot styles, all within the drawing itself. So if you need to update a template that you have and you want to see where things are at, or if you just want to take a drawing like this and you want to move things to where they should be. So over here we have basically what's on the top of the ribbon with some other things there. If you need support, click here. I should mention also, if you have any questions while we're going along here, go ahead and type them in and we'll try to get to them at the end. And if you have any ideas, we'd like to hear those too. So this will direct you to help videos, which this one will be on as well. There's a number of other videos there. So our options tab, again, like many of our tools, has these selections. So let's focus for right now. Let's start at the top of the list with layers. So let's see what we have here. So we've got a C road align, E for existing, N for new. And here's another kind of a repeat. Maybe this is one we typically use. Maybe this came with our template. Maybe we loaded it in here. But theirs are on this. So they're directing to this center type. And here we have a CTC style that also is using the same layer in a circumstance. But maybe we want that layer out of there. So all we have to do right here, we just go grab this. In this case, we can grab all of them. Oops. So we get all of them. And here, right here, we get the option to swap the layer. So we can go on, we can just pick our line layer. And now all that has been moved. I missed that one apparently. Let's move that one over too. So now those are all on the CTC. So we'll be using this style. These alignment styles are all reference this for existing alignment lines. And now with this one, we can highlight it and we could edit the layers we wanted to put it in, but maybe we just want to get rid of it. So let's just purge that one out of there. So we can easily delete it. And we know it's not being used anywhere, or it would have had something on it. So if we want to go ahead and change some of these layers, now we see a lot of this is reference to layer 0. So pretty much out of the box stuff. Let's see what's on this one. So here our style, our CTC style, actually has some identified different layering for our things to go on here. So all our line, curve, spiral, that's going to go on E layer, and our directional arrows will go there, and so on. If we wanted to change that up, if we wanted to make one of these match, we could do that right here too. We come in here and we could start entering picking our layers. Gives you this, and if we just wanted to see just the C road ones, we can apply our filter right here. So here's all of our road ones. So we could change that very easily too if we wanted to. So let's see, let's get rid of this one too. Let's take and put our proposed on our new layer. And this is a modal or non-modal, whatever. You can still run everything out of your Civil 3D right here. So if we go down here and we go to our alignment styles, for example, so here's that underscore proposed one. We just moved it to our CTC proposed. And you notice the existing one is now gone from there. If I come here and select it, and then I purge it, we can see this happening even in real time. So now it's gone from here. So we don't need it anymore. It's not part of our drawing at all. And the same thing with our layering happens in our layering right here. So let's go look at those layers now. So nothing's on this layer anymore. Nothing's on this layer, so I can delete those out of there too. Or I can't. Okay, there must be something else hanging on there. Textile, something is still hanging on to there. Well, we'll look at that later. So, okay, let's look at some of these. Since this is a survey drawing, let's look at some of these survey things. So we got a whole bunch of survey layers in this one. But we can do our filtering by V. Let's see what's on the node layers. So we've got a node and a node label. Nothing is on those. So in this case, where did they put the nodes? So I can do a filter with just nodes. And now I can see that all of these cocoa points, everything is coming on a Z node versus a V node. Well, typically we would probably want our data on a V node layer. So we can just take all of these cocoa points and we can go ahead and do a shift select and we can swap those layers. And I'm going to filter this one too. To our V node. And now they've all moved to that layer. We can see right here. Another new feature that we've added is the ability to go and look at something, to zoom to it. So here's that point right there. We zoom to that point. So we can easily see what we're doing while we're doing it to see if we want to make that decision. Let's go back to this Z node layer. Whoops, I missed it. So we see a number of these grading are on there too. So we can zoom to that and see what are we getting here. So right there, we're getting a line that didn't even really look right, grabbing two different points. And that's okay. But kind of a nice thing to be able to zoom to see what we're doing when we're doing things. We actually have the ability to make a decision based on what we're seeing. So it's not just guesswork like you would get if you were trying to do it natively. So let's see what else we got. Clear this feature. Now we looked at that basic style, and we know that a lot of this stuff is on layer 0 right away. So we can see what all blocks are on it, for instance. All these blocks are referencing the layer 0. What else? Let's try alignment. So all of our alignment styles, here's all of those that are also referencing the 0, including this one that we just made here. And we see that tangent extensions. We can change that to, let's have it match C road line extension right there. And a warning symbol, maybe we want that on an anal, C-anal layer. Say okay. And now that fell out of what layer 0 is referencing, or should have. And that's some of the things we can do with within this tool to make things a lot easier to see what all we're getting. So this is the full list of everything, all the layers, all objects, object layers too. So we're seeing here that most of our object layers have not been set in this, and we could do it here as well. We could start swapping these. We can see from our settings here in our object layer settings, everything pretty much is to 0, except for a few here. Other than that, they've just left everything on 0. And we could fix those here and do them one by one as well. Or we could use, if you were attending one of our last webinars, we can use out of our layer boss, export object layers and create edit object layers where we can quickly and easily name those. And in some instances, these are tied back to template tracker. If you delete something and they don't show up, you're in layer boss, it will give you the option to kick you out to template tracker, and it will show you just that, and you can change whatever you're looking for easily that way. So the way these things tie together is pretty nice. They're smart enough to know and work together in that way. So let's move on. Let's check some text styles. So text styles. Well, this drawing came, like I said, from out of the office, from another entity, and we have a lot of text styles, a lot of text styles. I mean, we don't want to use them all. We don't even need them, but we don't know what they're doing. We don't know what is out there, what they're doing. So I click on this one, and here now, this is all the M text and regular text that are using the style L100, Leroy 100. So all these are in use somewhere. And we have these dash ones too, and these are coming from just right from your style manager. Coming from here, nothing is proprietary. Everything that we have that references Civil 3D stuff or AutoCAD stuff. And some of these tools can also be used in AutoCAD, straight up AutoCAD. So here we clicked on this 140, I think, before, and we saw it. Oh, and here's another thing. It's smart enough to know what the text inside of there is to help with you to find them. So here this 140 came from them, and it's M text, and it's this 140, but it says, hey, look at, we don't even support, we don't have this font style in our drawing. We don't own it and it didn't come with it. So in that case, it's probably not showing up the way we would want it to. So we can swap it for, and you could change it here if you wanted to, or we can easily just come right here. Let's see what one of these looks like. So again, it's entity, so we can zoom to it to see. So there it is, right there. It's this existing building text, just like it says. And that's the style it brought in for it. We can easily change this. Grab all of them here. And maybe we want to put them on our own company or whatever else you want to put it on. And you can see how it changed right there, right now. Now this is no longer being used. Yes, it is. It's the current style. So we should probably change that, which we can do. And then we can get rid of it. I'm going to make this one current. So now our CTC style is the current style. And now this one isn't being used. Now there's this one and this one. And the fonts are bad anyway, so we can just delete them right out of here. We don't have to find them somewhere else and delete them. We can just get these right out of here. And all of our text that was on that style has now been changed. And here's where that one is. Here's where those are. So again, that's probably a lot easier to do than doing it natively. I don't know if you saw my quick properties pops up there too, because it is selected. It's a regular selection. You can delete it, you can edit it, whatever you want to do to it. Being that you're not controlled by this dialogue anymore. So that's a little bit about text styles. Let's take a look at dimension styles. They all pretty much work the same way. We have some dimension styles in here, I think. Here's the default. Can't get rid of that one. So it came with these. Okay, here we've got, and it's the current style too. So we've got these are on there. Maybe we want them to be annotative. Maybe we want them to be annotated. So again, gives you what the dimension is. So we can zoom to it. And here's one of those right there. A building, apparently dimension. We can grab both of these. We can swap them out just like we did before. And now they're off of there. So with that, then we can delete that layer or that dim style if we wanted to. Again, it's your dim style manager. So it's your dim style manager right here. And we could delete it here if we wanted to. But again, if we don't know where it's used, it's not going to delete. And here we know it's not used. Or here, this one either. Let's delete that one out of there. And just like that, it's gone. And the others are changed. So again, we can do the same thing with M leaders. This one doesn't have any in there. I have another drawing open here. I can switch to that. And then another nice thing is you can work between different drawings. And here we've got a bunch that are on the annotative. We can swap those for standard if we wanted to in this case. I'll just do that real quick. We'll see. I should have zoomed to them to see. Let's see. Oh boy, that textile is not right. Let's put them back. So I can see right there, it's that one. So in that case, we can see that needs some work. Maybe we want to put it back. Maybe we want to make an adjustment to it. Get that out of the way. So let's just put them back and we'll see. We'll watch that change again. Put it back on that annotative, and there it's changed. So let's quickly go through one of our new tools, this line type manager as well. It shows you the line types that are in there, where they're being used, what they're being used for. So this continuous, of course, has a lot, being used a lot. Let's switch over to our other drawing. Back to our site drawing. And it's scanning right now. So it scans right away and it looks for everything now that's in that one. So here now we've got a whole bunch of other line types. Let's check out this one. So we've got a gas. It says it's references underground, but it says above ground. So we have a feeling that's bad. We could make a new layer, or we can move it. So you can kind of see it's the same thing. You can swap these out and get them on correct layers. And you could do it through your layer manager too, but you might not know which one it's hanging on to. So you want it to be in a, maybe you got a UG instead of a above ground situation, because it is there, somehow it got swapped out. So again, pretty much the same modus operandi, if you will. So plot styles, we can do the same thing. So now here we have a CTB, which is referencing all of this stuff. And again, you could do it through there, but here we get it all lined up. But we know already, if we just want to move a couple of these, if we know some of these, no plot, whatever, we want to put on and give it a new color, even down to some other odd color, up to our full color list. So you don't have to know the number. You can just pick it right here, just like you could in your line type or your layer properties manager. So when I said that, it supports also STBs as well. So we have the same thing. Come to this drawing, this one is STB based. So if I go back to my plot styles, again, we can see that it's STB based. So any of these, so here's medium. Looks like just about everything is on medium. You could change some of these to like a normal, for instance, for that one, and drops right off the list. Maybe your Cyano one as well, and so on. And it's gone from the list over here. Makes it easy to switch things up. So with that, that's really all I had to show you guys today. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them in right now. I hope you saw some value in that tool. Okay. So again, it's part of the our CTC SIM management suite. We also have the SIM project suite, which has other tools more for an everyday user. If you don't have it and you'd like to get it, you can contact your local reseller, or you can contact us at our website, ctcsoftware.com. And if you do use our products, or if you have any ideas or need help with anything, you can just contact our support. We love to hear from our users, because after all, we're building these tools for you people. So with that, that's all I had to show you today, and we'll get to any questions. I'll hang around for a couple more minutes. If you have anything, you go ahead and type them in. Otherwise, if you're going to leave, thank you for stopping by. We always appreciate you coming and watching our webinars, and we will see you at the next one. Thanks again.